Watch this. Your glutes should be sore after training. If they're not, you're generating force all wrong in table tennis. Hi everyone, I'm Xiao Han. Today, I want to talk about something fundamental. In table tennis, there are 5 key elements: speed, power, spin, placement, and variation. Here's the question I want you to think about. Which one matters most? They're all important, obviously, but if you had to rank them, which would you put at the top? That's what we're going to break down today. Next, here's the thing: anyone can hit hard. But being able to control your power, that's what separates a good player from everyone else. Watch my partner, and I rally as if we're in a match. I can control my force and still keep the ball on the table. That's what matters. Let me put it this way: everyone has 100% of power available. But the real question is, for this particular ball, how much of that power should I actually use? Let me give you an example. My partner feeds me a push. I choose about 70% power. Next ball comes a little heavier, so maybe I dial it back to 30%. You have to adjust to every incoming ball. If you could pick the perfect percentage of force for every single shot, the most correct response each time, you'd be a world champion. That's literally what separates levels. If you get most of them right, you're an advanced player. If you get most of them wrong, you're the one losing. And if you get nearly all of them wrong, you're a beginner. Everyone goes through that process. First and foremost is spin. Because spin is something every amateur can develop, and it's extremely effective. Raw power carries risk, you might miss. But spin gives you a high success rate, while still being threatening. Honestly, for amateurs, spin is the best value you can get. You score with it, and you stay on the table with it. That's my priority. Make the ball spin first, forehand and backhand alike. Table tennis is a rally sport. No matter how hard you hit or how much spin you generate, the ball has to land on the table. When you're just starting out, you naturally want to blast every ball, crush your opponent. But as you improve, that mindset shifts. Instead of asking how hard can I hit, you start asking how can I add more spin and keep the ball on the table. First, protect the rally, get the ball in. Once that's solid, the second priority is variation, changes in rhythm and placement. Third comes speed. In last, dead last, is raw power. So my ranking goes: spin first, then variation, then placement, then speed, and finally power. Speed and power sit at the bottom because without the others, they just produce errors. Now some people think speed and power are the same thing, but they're not. Watch, here's a backhand change of direction to the wide forehand. That shot uses power. But this one, a quick redirect down the line, that's speed. It arrives fast, but there's much less force behind it. The two feel completely different. So what's my personal top 3? Number 1 is always spin. If you ever rally with me, you'll notice the ball is very heavy. Whether it's a serve, a receive, a loop, a push, or a banana flick, I'm always chasing maximum spin. Number 2 is variation. Table tennis is a high IQ sport. You have to outthink your opponent, change rhythm, change placement, keep them guessing. Now let's talk about how power is actually generated. The highest level power in table tennis comes from what I call combined force, two forces colliding. The ball is traveling back toward you, and you're swinging forward into it. Those two forces meet at the point of contact. That collision is combined force. The ball comes off the bounce heading one direction. Your stroke drives the other way, and where they meet, that's where the most efficient power lies. Once you understand this principle, controlling the ball and keeping it on the table becomes much easier. So when do you use combined force, and how much effort should you put in? Let me share my experience. This isn't an absolute standard because everyone's feel is different. Take forehand drives and backhand drives as an example. When my partner sends a normal pace rally ball, not too fast, not too slow, watch. This is what a normal rally ball looks like on the forehand side, and this is what it looks like on the backhand. For any ball at this pace or slower, anything at or below normal rally speed, you can commit 70% or more of your total force. When I say 70%, I don't mean 70% from your arm alone. It's 70% of your whole body working together, legs, core, and arm combined. If your body contributes more, your hand does less. If your body contributes less, your hand picks up the slack. 70, 80, 90%. The exact number doesn't matter much. What matters is you never go to a full 100. Anything pushed to the absolute max breaks down. You'll either miss or get hurt. When your opponent suddenly accelerates, adding extra speed, extra spin, or extra force, you cannot use active force generation. You must not try to swing big and create space for a full stroke. Against a ball that's coming in hot, there's no time and no room to load up. Instead, you need to shorten your stroke, stay compact, and let the incoming energy do most of the work. Think of it this way: the harder the ball comes at you, the less you add of your own. Your racket stays close to the contact point, your body stays balanced, and you redirect rather than generate. But when the ball comes at normal rally speed, or even slower, like a soft block, a high return, or a weak push, that's when you can commit to active force generation. Watch, I take a full backswing, create space between my body and the ball, and drive through with combined force. See the difference on the forehand side, and now the backhand. Both are active force generation. The key is creating that gap, that space, so two forces collide at the moment of contact. It's not that you should never use force. It's knowing exactly when you're allowed to commit. Now the second key concept, borrowing force. Watch, I stay close to the ball, make contact, and then push through. That's borrowing force. Compare, here I load up and swing, that's active force generation. Here I stay tight, receive the ball's energy first, then extend through it, that's borrowing force. Think of borrowing force as using your opponent's incoming power first, then adding your own push behind it.